everybody, and welcome to Raising Vibrations with myself, Simon. Today, everyone, I'm going to be continuing with my moon sign series, and what we're going to be discussing today is the moon in Virgo, or if you have the moon in the 6th house, okay? Now, before I go ahead and jump into the story, I highly recommend that you watch the introduction video. It gives a strong feeling of context regarding what the moon sign means, and also being able to really connect deeply with the entirety of what the actual moon symbolizes in your birth chart and how to interpret it, okay? And the link will come up on the video very shortly. Okay, so what are we dealing with here when we've got moon in 6th house or the moon in Virgo? The main and ultimate key with this placement is to really access deep emotional healing regarding, when I say emotional healing, I mean in the sense that it's purification, okay? You're trying to step into a space where your life is very humble. You're trying to step into a space where there is probably emotional humiliation that will take place in your life, where you will be very much surrounded by circumstances and situations where you'll have to surrender a lot of your own personal will, and sometimes even your own personal sense of direction in order to learn the lessons of creating equality and balance and friendship and social norms. When I say social norms, I mean in the sense of social normality, about how things are balanced, okay? And with the moon in the 6th house, or moon in Virgo, there's that very strong need to really become humble in that process and actually be a teacher of that archetype. Again, when you're watching these videos, be very aware that there is no right or wrong, there just is. And that when you're interacting with these archetypes in your consciousness, and forming relationships to them, you are learning how to understand them in an intimate way and then become a messenger of those archetypes for the rest of us to obviously understand. So never ever feel like if you've got moon in 6th house or you've got moon in Virgo, that there's something wrong with you. And it's kind of interesting that I actually share that in this series, starting with Virgo, because Virgo as an archetype can be incredibly critical and self-judgmental. And there's a lot of feelings of inadequacy and sense of lack and imperfection that comes with the archetype of Virgo. Unfortunately, we don't even recognize that these are archetypes that are man-made and are very much exclusive to our inability to recognize our hearts. So if you carry this archetype within yourself, if you've got moon in 6th house, if you've got moon in Virgo, recognize that there's a very deep need for emotional healing through self-acceptance and self-love, and really being able to step into your sense of need for improvement as ability to become better at what you do, so that you can then offer that as a service to other people to improve their own existence and their own lives through efficiency. And that's a really important differentiation, and yet at the same time road to consistently keep choosing when you've got this placement in your birth chart. Because again, with the moon in the 6th house, there is of course this inner identity, as I said before, of all these negative things in that way, and yet that's really much attached to the ego. So I would like to encourage you to really feel the subtle difference between how can I become better or improve myself versus this necessity of like, oh, there's something wrong with me and I need to criticize myself in that way. That's kind of a man-made patriarchal story associated with it, okay? So with this placement, you're coming in here to really understand humiliation and the sense of becoming very organized in a way of, efficiency. You're really wanting to be of service and really help in some way, shape or form, and also to probably become very healing towards your emotions, because there's probably something within your karma regarding a dysfunction in some way. And again, the dysfunction isn't something negative, it's just something that the soul would want to improve upon. And so there is a strong focus regarding one's self-identity there, okay? Fantastic, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and this series. And if you're interested in what Raising Vibrations does, please come over to my website. The link will be in the description. And until then, take care. Bye-bye.